Hey guys, it's me, Mario. And today, I'm going to read the 10th book of Beast Quest. Vipero, the Snake Man. Yes. Already on the 10th book. Time flies so fast, doesn't it? Halfway through the second series. Prologue. The sun blazed down over the desert. Sand dunes stretched in all directions, as far as the eye could see. There was no shelter from the merciless heat. A nomad wearing long robes, the same color as the sand, was stumbling among the dunes. His thin face was burnt by the sun, and he screwed up his eyes against the glare. I think I need to turn on the music real quick. Hold on a sec. Let's put it out at halfway. There we go. His thin face was burnt by the sun, and he screwed up his eyes against the glare. His throat was parched, and his lips were cracked. "Water," he muttered. "I must find water." At the foot of a dune, he spotted a small plant with dark, thick leaves. Falling to his knees beside it, he tore it up by the roots and crushed the leaves against his mouth, hoping to extract precious drops of water. But with an exclamation of disgust, he tossed the plant aside. The leaves scarcely held enough water to wet his lips. He almost wished he had never agreed to take part in this deadly challenge. If he could succeed in crossing the desert, alone with no food or water, he would win great honor for his tribe. But if he didn't find water soon, he would die here, his bones skewered by the sand. He rose to his feet and brushed the sand from his robes. Determined to set one foot in front of the other, he clambered painfully up to the crest of the next dune. When he reached the top, shock and relief made him stagger. In front of him, at the bottom of the slope, lay a shimmering blue lake. Trees shaded it, their broad leaves swaying gently. I'm saved! I'm saved! The nomad staggered down the side of the dune, his feet sinking into the loose sand. My tribe will be the greatest of all. But as soon as he drew closer to the foot of the dune, the shimmering water began to fade, and the trees vanished into the glare of the sun. The nomad fell desperately to the ground, grabbing handfuls of sand, which trickled between his fingers. The beautiful lake had been a mirage. there was no water. Shattered by the sudden loss of hope, he buried his face in his hands and began to sob. After a while, he realized that his robes were echoing. His sobs were echoing. He looked up and noticed what he had missed before. Rocks emerged from the sand just behind him, and between them was a dark gap, leaping back into the dune. A cave. The nomad's hope... Excuse me, I need to drink real quick. Let's see here. The nomad's hope revived. He stumbled into the cave, muttering his thanks that he had found shelter from the burning rays of the sun. He took deep breaths of the cool air and felt at ease of it swirling around his ankles. Then the grasp of the icy breeze tightened, and the nomad realized that something was wrapping itself around him, snaking up his legs. Terror struck him like a sudden blow. He tried to run out of the cave, but the grip on his ankles tripped him and he fell flat on his face. He kicked out frantically, reaching down to fetch at whatever was gripping him. Then froze. No, he gasped. Around his legs were the coils of a snake. But this was no ordinary snake. The tail itself was grotesquely huge, and above it was a human torso patterned with raw, angry red and sickly green scales, unlike an ordinary cold-blooded snake. Its body sent out a huge wave of heat. The nomad choked in terror as his gaze traveled upwards, and he saw that the snake had 2 heads. Its 4 eyes stared at him, narrowing in sinister hatred. And then the heads reared back. No! The nomad yelled, but the 2 heads swooped down on him, and the 2 sets of fangs buried themselves in his neck. He saw nothing more. And that was the prologue. The prologue of Vipero, the Snake Man. I always had a question of, does Vipero have like 2 consciousness because he has 2 heads? Or no? Does he have 2 consciousness in there, or just 1 controlling 2 heads? I wouldn't have any clue. But yeah. That was the prologue of Vipero, the Snake Man. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Itchy nose. And I hope I will see you in the next one. Alright. See ya. Bye-bye for now.